Hello, welcome back. This is course lesson number 2. Here we go. Ipswich High School Trombone Course 2. And we're going to start off the same as we started off on number 1, which was a scale of B flat. So I'm going to remind you before we start of the notes in the scale of B flat. Starting with the low one, B flat. 6th position, 4th position, 3rd position, 1st position. You all know those 5 notes pretty well, I believe. Then we go 4th, 2nd, 1st for the top 3 notes. Here we go. You might like to play along with me if you can. I taught a pupil yesterday from your school, and she was in a real hurry to play these notes, and you don't get any extra credit for playing fast. At the moment, what we're looking for is a good, solid, round tone. So I'm asking you to do it again and make sure that you make the notes last 2 or even 3 or even 4 whole beats long. Good. If you played all those accurately, then well done. And I'm just going to remind you of the first 5 notes: B flat, C, D, E flat, F. And if you remember, just before Christmas we played tunes like Jingle Bells, which use the first 5 notes. Good. So we're going to move on to our first piece called Likely Row. Some people call it Little Bird. There are various names, but it's the same tune. I think it's also called German Dance. I seem to remember learning that on a recorder when I was about 9. So, looking at Likely Row, get used to looking at the notes and recognizing which ones they are. The first note in Likely Row is on the 4th line. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1st position. If you look at the reminder at the top of the page where it says reminder, you can see that the 4th line is clearly 1st position. So this is Likely Row. So there we are, we're using 5 notes, and maybe it would be a good point now to pause the video for a couple of minutes while you just practice those 5 notes. Let me just remind you: B flat, 1st position, and it's on the 2nd line. C, 6th position, and it's on the 2nd space. D, 4th position, and it's on the 3rd line. E flat, 3rd position, and it's on the 3rd space. F, 4th line, and it's on 1st position. Sounds like this. So I'd like you to take a pause and just play the 5 notes. Just play those 5 notes. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do that. So I'm assuming you've done that now, and I'm moving on to Likely Row again. 1st, 4th, 4th. third, sixth, sixth. Then up the 5-note scale. Then the first 6 notes again. And slightly different for the last 5 notes. Good. So you might like to pause at this point again and have a little go at lightly row, lightly row. And just before you do pause, I would like to congratulate one of you for playing last week's piece, which was Ode to Joy, so beautifully. It was Abigail with the yellowy orange trombone. Abigail, that was very well played. I'm very impressed. Maybe one of you would like to record yourselves and send it to Mrs. Jennings, who forwarded it to me. And if you find that you're able to play it well. Okay, so pause at this point for another 30 seconds or so, maybe a minute or even 2 minutes to play Lightly Row to yourselves. Pause now. Good. I'm assuming you've paused, and we're going to now enter the top half of the scale. So no more playing too many low notes. We're going to practice playing higher notes. So I want you to find the note F, which is the 4th line. It's halfway up the scale. Find that note. And I've called the next exercise Move That Slide, Watch It Glide. You could possibly finish that little poem. Move that slide, watch it glide. See if you can, let's have a little competition, see who can finish that saying the most interesting and accurate way. So this is what we're looking to do. We're looking to play F and then moving the slide outwards. Instead of going downwards to D, we're going upwards to G. Two things to be careful of. Make sure you put the slide right out to 4th position, which is with the handle 3 or 4 centimeters past the bell and with the edge of the tube level with the bell. So the slide has to go in the right place. And secondly, be careful that your note doesn't go downwards by mistake. This is going downwards. That's what you don't want. What you do want so I'm going to play the first 7 notes of Move That Slide, Watch It Glide. Okay, so that's the first half of that exercise. I'll do it one more time for you to play along with. And it should be no surprise to you that in the second half we're going to go from G upwards to A. So there is even higher note. Listen, here are the 2 notes that you're going to need. If you look at the line at the top of the sheet, the reminder line, we're now looking at 3rd and 2nd from the end of the line. The 3rd note and the 2nd note from the end of the line, which are in 4th position and 2nd position. Here they are. Those are the 2 notes you're going to need. I'm going to play the last 7 notes of that line from the G to the A. The second half of Move That Slide, Watch It Glide. surprise to me there. It was back to an F. Right, I'm going to play the whole of that line, then I'm going to let you pause. Okay, you need to take a minute now to just practice that on your own. So press pause. Good, welcome back. We're going to finish off with the last tune on this sheet. Now, one or two of you have mentioned grades. Grades are examinations on instruments, and the first examination you would come across is grade 1. And this piece, Song of the Vulgar Boatman, is taken from, it's the piece that you have to do for grade 1. So you can really say that you're making excellent progress if you can play this piece, because it's a grade 1 piece. Notice it's Volga boatman, not vulgar boatman. Volga is a river in Russia, and it's the boatmen that row their boat up and down the river. Volga. Okay, so this is how it goes. Okay, so that's the first half, the first part of the Song of the Vulgar Boatman. The words are yo, heave, ho, because they're pulling their oars, rowing against the stream, or maybe they're rowing with the stream, depends which way they're going. Just look at the first line, first, fourth, fourth, fourth. So it's only the first note, first position. Then we're going to look at the second line now. The first two notes are first position, because it's F, then the high B flat. So the second note of the bottom line is really high. So you have to tighten your lips, blow fast. Then second position. Then fourth position. So those four notes are different. The last two bars are the same as the first two bars. One piece of information: there are more musicians in the world who play without music than there are with music, but it's very useful to be able to play with music. So put yourself on pause again, have another minute or two practicing Song of the Vulgar Boatman, then we'll have to call it a day. So pause now, and I'm going to finish off by playing this. And that's it again. Another lesson has passed really quickly.